Capello quits the England job, and of course, everyone thinks Harry's going to get the job. He takes his eye off the ball. We lose 5 of the remaining, 13 games of the season. Up to that point, we'd only lost 4 in 26. We were terrible. We lost 5-2 to Arsenal, 3-1 at home to United. We lost to Everton, QPR, and Norwich. That was the Spurs of Harry Redknapp. But it really, really stemmed to that Villa game away where we drew 1-1, and winning in that game would have probably, I think, lifted us to 3rd, kept us in 3rd. Arsenal would have been in 4th. In fact, even on the final day of the season, this is how Spursy it gets. I think Martin Fulop, who used to be a goalkeeper for us, was drafted in the last minute for West Brom because Ben Foster, I think, was injured either in warm-ups or right before the game. And despite being up in that game, I think 2-1, he gifted Arsenal a couple of goals. They won 3-2, which obviously kept us in 4th, kept them in 3rd. But I mean, that's Spurs to a T right there. If Ben Foster had been in goal, West Brom probably would have won that game, would have gone to 3rd, and it would have been a moot point. But, you know, that's football for you. It's what we live and die by this game. And for anyone who remembers that season, I'm sure I've just cast all kinds of misery and pain on you. I could go a bit further back to 2006 and Lasagna Gate, but I won't.
Yeah. You know, and there is, when I look at the table, there's got to be one kind of nightmare scenario in there. I think it would affect Chelsea more than it would affect anybody else. But if Chelsea somehow catch Liverpool and we leapfrog Liverpool and Liverpool end up 5th, Arsenal stay 6th, but Liverpool win the Champions League and Arsenal win Europa League, you can't have 6 teams in the Champions League. Would Chelsea get bumped out at that point?
Yeah, Chelsea in 4th, they get bumped out. Because that's the same scenario I just gave you, but with us in 4th, so it would apply to them.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, since we're talking scenarios, let's talk about the one that can't happen. Say it, Kenny. Say it.
Mind that fucking
gap.
Shove your St. Tawtring Day right up your ass. I'm so fed up with them. I called Mind the Gap, and I got blasted by you guys. What? They were never catching us. They were
6 weeks ago, right?
They were never catching us. And I get it. You old guard motherfuckers. You know, you think that...
you did it like 2 seasons ago, and you jinxed it.
Well, that was 2 seasons ago. That doesn't count. Last couple seasons, I've been right. Not season before last season. We really screwed that one up. Last day of the season. Chelsea can mind the gap too while they're at it, by the way.
Oh, my God.
71 points sitting at the table. Tottenham, 3rd consecutive season to reach at least 70 points. Chairs, you found this on Twitter, having done so only twice in the previous 23 Premier League seasons. Pretty phenomenal feat, and people need to remember, listen, financially, I still think that we're punching way above our weight. We are in a very successful state right now as a club and as a fan base, and I think we need to realize that. Yes, everybody wants to win a trophy. I get it. Be patient. Things are going to happen, and they're going to happen rapidly. Another interesting stat, Chairs, that you sent over, Harry Kane made his 150th Premier League appearance today. In those games, Kane has netted 105 goals. Only Alan Shearer, with 121, has more. Pretty remarkable statistic, given the different eras that they played in, yes?
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I think he surpassed Didier Drogba as well today in that category as well, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, he's been off a little bit. We talked about that the last couple of podcasts. And as we mentioned earlier, not his best game, but you give the guy a couple of chances and he's going to take them. And he took certainly one of those today. But definitely a very, very strong performance. I think he is now 1 goal behind George Hunt for 6 on the all-time scoring list. I know we talked about his form earlier in the season. He had a very good chance of catching Jermaine Defoe on 143 goals. Again, unless he repeats the efforts of last season with the 7 goals in the last 2 games, that's probably not going to happen this season. And then we know August will roll around soon enough, and we know he doesn't like August. But, you know, you got to doff your cap to the guy. He's still, 4 goals behind Salah. And I know there's a lot of talk out there about Salah throwing a punch at a Stoke player, and the FA's not even going to take any action on that. Yeah, Slimani got, I think, called for something he did on the weekend, and he's getting a ban. And the FA with their double standards, Dele Alli got the 3-match ban right at the business end of the season when he punched someone in the midriff in the West Brom game a couple of seasons ago, and that obviously hurt us in those last 2 games in the first game of the new season. But we just got to take care of the business, and I think if Harry can use these last 3 games to rat in some goals, especially as Liverpool could be on the ropes, then he's still got a chance of getting that 3rd golden boot. And I just hope it's not weighing on his mind too much and making him overthink things when he's in front of goal. Another interesting stat that popped up today, I know we talked about, I think it was on the quiz last week, the period of where we've gone scoreless, and it was 2 months and 2 days between September and November. It's interesting to know since then we scored in each of the past 23 Premier League games, and that's our longest scoring run in the top flight since April 1987, which was 26 games. So we can certainly equal that if we score in these last 3 games, which on paper looks doable, right?
It does. And for the second season in a row, we've scored over 100 goals in all comps. So I think it was 91 and 95 in the previous 2 seasons under Pochettino. So getting progressively better there as well. I don't think we've matched last year. I don't think we will.
No, his first season was 91 in all comps, 95, then 117 last year. But remember, 13 of those came in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So we're actually on a better clip than that. 3 games to get 10 goals. I mean, it's arguably doable, but nonetheless, scoring over 100 goals in all competitions. And again, having your top 4 guys in double figures in all competitions is good. We won't repeat the feats, I think, of last year. I think when we had 4 players in double figures for the first time in God knows however many years. Sorry, 3 players in double figures. So, again, it's a great feat by our forwards to bang in the goals. And again, you can look outside those 4, and it's pretty slim pickings for everyone else. You got Llorente with 5.
Sissoko's going to step it up.
Own goals with 5, and we know Llorente got 3 of those in one match. So for Llorente and own goals to be tied for 5th in the scoring charts is a little kind of disappointing. So that flags the need for people to step up. And what our needs are in the summer. Talking of needs, Ken, we had a chat today, and I know it's Pie in the Sky about a couple of players from Lazio that's been bandied around in the news this week.
So Tottenham, they're looking to. Rumor has it that they're looking to splash a bunch of cash, over 100 million, to land Ciro Immobile and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. I knew I'd get that out from Lazio.
100 million quid. That's a lot of money.
I think this will be so dead before it actually matters. Tim, tell me I'm completely losing my brain here, but I just don't see us. I can't even remember the last time a Serie A player came over and had any real success in the Premier League. It's a completely different style of football that takes forever to get used to.
Didn't it just happen?
Who? With Salah? That's different. No, that's different. I mean, he played at Roma, but he played at Chelsea before. I mean, he's that's a little bit of a different animal.
I'm just trying to prove you wrong.
I know, bastard. The Delic, those rumors are starting to pick up a little bit as well. Timmy? I mean, you're kind of knee deep into the transfer stuff and the budgeting part of the business side of football. Isn't it a little early to be really taking any account to this?
I don't know, because you got to do the business early this year. The window closes when the season starts, and it's a World Cup year, and you're not going to be able to do that much. You have a limited window if these players are going off to play in the World Cup. So, I mean, you got to get working on it now. But as far as those players you're talking about, I mean, De Ligt is way more of an option than I think Immobile would be. Want to just think about the mold, the young budding player versus the 28-year-old from Italy. Like, who are you going to spend the money on? I don't see us splashing so much cash on someone who's going to give us only 3 years. We're looking for someone who can give us 2 contracts or sell them for a big profit after they've been with us for a few years.
And there's a lot that needs to be decided in terms of those kind of acquisitions as well. Sessegnon is another one, and now you have everybody from Manchester United to PSG looking at that kid, and the price, as you have mentioned numerous times on this podcast, is going up, and it goes up almost every week. He keeps knocking in goals for Fulham. He is easily not only the best player on Fulham's roster, but he's probably the best player in the championship right now. His price is going to exponentially go up. So, but there's things that need to be addressed. To Chair's point, there's rumors floating about Danny going, Dembele going, Sissoko going.
No, Sissoko's staying. It was
well. Can I start that one, please?
Yeah, we saw a story during the week. There were 5 on the shopping list going out the door: Dembele, Rose, Wanyama. Out of their old, well, you could be right, could be Sissoko. There were 5 there. And, Twitter was in a meltdown about Dembele, but we talked about him last week in the podcast. He's 31. You saw him come off today. He was limping. He was done. He's carrying this, his body is starting to break down, and I think he wants to go and get his last big payday in China and not have to run around a lot. And you know what? I can't blame the guy. He's good when he's good, but when he's not good,
it's awful.
And we saw a bit of that today. He was not fit enough.
We saw that last weekend.
Saw it in the semi, especially. Yeah, he was the worst player on the pitch at times.
People have got to take the rose-tinted glasses off when it comes to these decisions. And talking of Rose, I mean, he needs to go. If he goes to the World Cup, I would be surprised. And I know we were talking about cover at left back and right back today for England, but Rose is a shadow of his former self. So if he does go to United and we get Luke Shaw in return, or if we go out and get Sessegnon with that money, I'm all for it, because Ben Davies has had him in his pocket all season long, and certainly when he's returned from injury. And, he's pouting about not playing, and, so what? You kind of like shat on your own doorstep when you had that interview with the Sun, and I don't think he's ever recovered from that, nor will he. We talked about out of their old ad infinitum, and if we go and get Delit, that's a replacement for him, as long as we don't sell Toby to a rival, which I think we'll all be fine with. Sissoko, no big deal either. And Wanyama, again, not been the strongest of seasons for him, especially since he's returned from injury. And maybe he'll have a good off-season since he's not in the World Cup. Maybe he can get back to full match fitness and be the guy he was last year, and we can keep him.
You know what my hope is?
Lay it on me.
Southampton goes down, and we just repeat what our best business for the last couple years has been, and you just go and raid them.
Who would you take?
Lamina, that can be your Dembele replacement right there. Either him or Ward-Prowse in the central midfield.
Ward-Prowse played with Poch, right?
Yes.
Lamina did.
Lamina didn't. No, he's a newer guy. You can go Cedric if we need another right back. I mean, Aurier certainly isn't doing the business. If we're talking about moving on Danny, you can go Ryan Bertrand. I mean, there's options there with that squad. I mean, Nathan Redmond for an attacking option. There are players there that you can go raid and that can fix some of these holes for players we're talking about selling, and would be much cheaper. I mean, there you go. There's your profit, Levy. Go raid it from Southampton. And they got a pretty tough run ahead of them. They play against Everton, Swansea, and City to finish out the season. Them and Swansea are going to battle for that last spot.
Yeah, they've got the extra game in hand, but I think they're going to struggle. I don't think the bottom three is going to change.
Do you think our transfer strategy stays that way, though, Tim, that we just kind of pick and pluck from the lower levels of our own league rather than trying to go out and try to find that world-class player? Are we not yet to that point where we can say, you know what, we can go and make a big splash somewhere?